Hi everyone, it's Julie from sproutsandstems.com here. Today's video is going to be 4 tips for light and houseplants. I'm not quite sure what the title of the video is yet, but 4 light related tips. So before I get into that, please subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any new planty content from me. It's quick, it's easy, it's free, it just requires one little boop of the subscribe button. And the train is coming, hold on. And if you'd like to further support my channel, check out either my YouTube membership or Patreon. Both have basically the same benefits linked in the description. You get access to exclusive content, priority response to comments here on YouTube, or access to message me on Patreon, depending on the platform. You get a thank you at the end of all my videos and a few more special perks. There are a few different tiers, but the tier that gets you the exclusive content is just around $5 a month. So if you'd like to support that, that would be greatly appreciated. The last video I posted there was an additional 3 exclusive tips for Monstera adansonii. It was a follow-up to my public YouTube video that was 5 tips for Monstera adansonii. So that was a little bit longer of an intro today, but you know, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Now we will get into the tips for light. This is a bird, by the way, like obviously a fake bird, but I realize you might not be able to like tell what that actually is. So birdie. Okay, the first tip is that light level affects watering level, and it can affect it a lot. So always keep that in mind. If your plant is in very bright light, it's going to need to be watered pretty frequently. If it's in a low light, it's going to need to be watered a lot less frequently. It can also depend on like time of year, temperature, but paying attention to this aspect can be the difference between plant survival and plant death. So I'll give you an example and I'll put some footage on the screen. My Monstera deliciosa that was up on top of my greenhouse cabinet, I was watering that maybe every 2 weeks, every 10 days, no more than every week, maybe like every 10 days I was watering it because the light's kind of low, it's relatively cool inside compared to outside, but I just recently moved it outside and I totally forgot that last summer when my plants were outside, I was watering like basically every other day because of how hot and sunny it gets out there, especially the morning sun. I totally forgot about that, and so I let my Monstera go like, I want to say like 5 days without watering, and I almost killed it. So it is droopy, it is sunburnt. I think it's going to be okay, but it's going to need ample recovery time. Keep in mind where you place your plants. Bright light, sunny locations, or dark corners affects how often you need to water your plants, and it's important to pay attention to that. Tip number 2 is that plants can live in lower light levels than you probably think, and take that with a grain of salt. When I first started getting into houseplants, I was kind of almost paranoid about like whether or not I had enough light for each and every single plant. But over time, you learn that if a plant doesn't have a prime spot on the windowsill, that's just fine. Think of a jungle floor because many, not all, but many common houseplants are found in rainforests, jungle environments, and if they're growing along the floor or along tree trunks, basically under the canopy, under lots and lots of thick branches and leaves, they're not getting as bright light as you would think all the time on a regular basis. If you don't have room in front of a big, beautiful, well-lit window for all of your plants, that's fine. See how things go. Monitor your plants. If it looks like they need more light, if they're not growing very fast, if they're growing leggy and spindly, if they're losing leaves, then you can assess whether or not maybe you need to do some rearranging. Don't worry about getting the perfect light level for every single plant immediately. Now, on that same note, there are factors that can help brighten up your space and make it more conducive to plant growth that you might not even realize you have. For example, white walls. White walls reflect light, they brighten up the space. I have some plants in my bedroom that are on the wall, and okay, this is the window. This is the wall that the plants are on. The sun comes through the window kind of this way, so if anything, light is shining like on the opposite wall. But my room is white and it's so bright, so the plants are pretty happy up there and they get plenty of light that they need. So the reflective surfaces definitely help. And on that same note, mirrors can be helpful too. A mirror can be helpful for reflecting light and helping your plants. Also, light bulbs that you already have can help a little bit. LED light bulbs or fluorescent light bulbs are pretty good for plant growth. Incandescent bulbs, not so much, and the heat also can hurt your plant depending on like how close it is. The only thing is, it's not going to help if the light bulb is on one side of the room and the plant is on the other side of the room. It has to be like relatively close. So white walls, mirrors, and light bulbs that you already have could help your plants grow. Tip number 4 is take proactive measures. Now, this I'm going to include maybe the obvious that I talk about a lot in my videos, but grow lights. I love grow lights. I make ample use out of grow lights. They're inexpensive. They can make a huge difference. Full spectrum light is best for houseplants. Red and blue lights have different purposes that can be helpful with other types of plants like flowers and vegetables and stuff, but just talking about houseplants here, full spectrum light is best, and LED lights are good as well. And I will link, I'll show you right now, just a quick shot. I have a few different kinds of grow lights, as you can see in my greenhouse cabinet, but these ones are my favorite. It's a clip that has those two things on it, and my plants would probably be fine up there without it, but I just like to have a little something else up there. And I'll link those in the description as well. It'll be an affiliate link, but I've been using those lights for years, so I can pretty much guarantee that you'll be happy with them. Another proactive measure that you can take is to swap plants from in and out of window space. Now, this one, I recognize that it is kind of annoying. You have to make sure you have plants that aren't super sensitive to be moved. Say if you have big window here and then like a really nice end table over here that's just perfect for plants, but it's in the corner of the room and not near any light. I'm setting the scene. Once a week you can swap those plants so this group can get a little sun, and then that group will have a little rest over there for a little bit, and not ideal, but they'll be okay. And yeah, you can do that. That's like I said, kind of not the most ideal or convenient thing, but if you're desperate or maybe as a temporary solution, that's something you can definitely do. Just make sure, like fiddle leaf figs, for example, are notorious for not wanting to be fiddled around with too much. Oh my God. Yeah, just make sure you don't have like a super sensitive plant. So those are my 4 tips, or maybe insights for light and houseplants. Oh, I almost forgot. I have this thing right here and I almost forgot to show you. I wanted to show you a recent Goodwill find. Oh hey, you can see the phone. Cool. It doesn't have a bottom. I don't know if it like used to have a bottom. It opens on top. I saw this and for $6, I obviously had to get it. I don't have plans for it yet, but it will be something plant related. I was thinking of maybe just stacking like a few small plants of various heights inside there, but I have a few other projects I need to finish first, and then I can figure out what to do with that. I don't know if I'm gonna add like a bottom to it somehow or just set it on like a table or something. We'll see. But if you have any ideas for what I should do with that bottomless terrarium type thing, let me know. And yeah, that's it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.